Hi, thanks for coming back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about the number one city that has the most relocations here to Charlotte. Do you know where that group of people actually come from? The number one group in the United States and all the cities that come here to Charlotte actually come from, drumroll, they come from New York. So yes, if you are a New Yorker, if you are a New Yorker and you're thinking about moving here to Charlotte, you're not alone. You are actually the number one group of people that come here to this beautiful city. I wanted to focus on comparing and contrasting as best as I can Charlotte to New York. So, of course, New York makes up a whole bunch of different boroughs. And I'm talking about New York City and all the different boroughs, not New York, the state. So, the boroughs in New York, as you guys know, make up a huge portion of New York City as a whole. Here in Charlotte, we have neighborhoods. We have different neighborhoods that make up different parts of Charlotte, okay? Of course, we also have like surrounding towns to Charlotte, like Concord, Matthews, Pineville. Believe it or not, South Carolina is actually like right under Charlotte. So, Rock Hill, Fort Mill, York County, basically. Yeah, that's also like not a neighborhood, but it's a neighboring city. Okay. So, anyways, back to that. We have something called neighborhoods. So we have Uptown. Uptown is like the metropolitan, is not in comparison, of course, to the beautiful city of New York. Nobody can compare it to the beautiful city of New York. However, it is our best attempt to do so. So what we have there is like the typical skyline. We have all the major corporations there, like Bank of America. We have Wells Fargo. We have Truist Bank. We have Duke Energy. We even have like the Catholic Church. All the major headquarters are located uptown. So you're gonna see like nice dining and like a Whole Foods. So you'll have like different types of cuisine uptown. You're gonna have so many different types to make up for the types of people that typically work uptown. So if you are, let's say, into Moroccan food or Indian food, you're going to find, if you are into different types of cuisine, uptown is going to have, little pockets of that. We have like an Irish pub, like an authentic version of an Irish pub. We have different pockets of food. We have, of course, like all these different pizza shops. We have Brazilian food. What else do we have uptown? We have Dean and DeLuca. I'm not trying to plug like certain restaurants in, but we have so many different, and of course we have Starbucks on every corner too, just like you guys do. So uptown, you can access it by bike. You can access it by our link system, which is like not our subway system, but it is a train. We have trolleys, and of course you can walk around, you can scooter. We have so many different ways where you can just kind of navigate in what we call uptown Charlotte. Of course, we have Uber, we have Lyft, we have taxis, we have all those different forms of transportation. And of course, you can also just drive your car. It's not like, like a Manhattan where it's gridlock for hours. I mean, if you're going to get into the worst case scenario amount of traffic uptown, you're going to probably be uptown for like 10 minutes. It's not a huge circumference of city, but it's one of the neighborhoods is uptown. Right outside of uptown is South End. South End is going to be a whole bunch of like breweries and, like I mentioned before, townhouses, single family homes, condos. And you're also going to be able to access it somewhat via the same transportation that I mentioned before for uptown, because we have buses also. We have a bus transit system. So those links, which is like a light rail, it's going to go into South End as well, and everything else that I mentioned pretty much, you can access transportation going that way as well. So South End is going to be typically like not a younger crowd, but it just has things that are like breweries and like food trucks. It has a few restaurants, and of course it's typically like the outside of the uptown area, so you can work uptown and literally bike 5 minutes if you live in South End. And of course, I forgot to mention, South End, just like uptown, does have condos, luxury apartments. It doesn't have any townhomes or single family homes, but it has a lot of like high-rise apartments. It has, and those are typically for rent. And they do have a few condos that are for sale also. They're luxury, and they're home to a lot of like of our famous celebrities here, our high-end CEOs, our bankers, different things like that. So South End is going to be, like I said, the fun young crowd. Same thing, like an area called Mumford. Mumford is also kind of similar to South Park. Dilworth is a little bit more of like a crowd for like more laid back, dining, living. You have a lot more space versus like South End and Uptown. But Dilworth is going to be like a very nice neighborhood. They have like pubs and small restaurants, more like independent restaurants. You're not going to see a whole bunch of franchises there. You're going to see a lot of small, little quaint places to eat, shops to shop at. You can get to know like the local store owners and stuff like that. Another neighborhood, we have Noda. Noda's actually pretty cool. Noda is like an art area. It's our art district. It's not like a Soho, but it's our version of a Soho. Okay, so don't judge me. That's the best way that I can describe it, right? It's kind of like a Soho. So also I wanted to bring up, maybe this will be my last area I'll talk about. I'm going to talk about Ballantyne and University area. So Ballantyne is an area that is further away from Uptown. Depending on traffic, it could be 30 to maybe like 30 minutes to an hour. With worst case scenario traffic, don't quote me, but it is a little bit further from Uptown. But Ballantyne is also a neighborhood that has like lots of neighborhoods in there, lots of subdivisions, lots of single family homes. So if you're going to work from home or you don't mind like a 20-minute to 1 hour commute daily, then Ballantyne is going to be the perfect area for you. They have so much to do there. It's more of like a suburb neighborhood, Long Island type of neighborhood. Don't quote me, but I would say it's that's like the only area I can kind of compare to like a Long Island is Ballantyne. Also, we have the university area. The university area is unique because that's where UNCC is. And even though we have different community colleges spread out across, I would still say that university area is very unique in what it has to offer. Lots of apartments because of the university being there. They have studio where it's not quite studios, but they'll have like rooms for rent there. They have the link system there because the link system actually goes straight into UNCC. I actually wanted to talk about two other neighborhoods, one of them being Ballantyne. Ballantyne is like a suburb area. It would be the closest thing that we would have to what I would consider like a Long Island. So it is about 20 minutes to about 45 to an hour on a daily commute because of traffic. Sometimes you can get to Ballantyne in like 25 minutes. And some days it'll take you about an hour, worst case scenario with traffic. Ballantyne has lots of neighborhoods, new developing neighborhoods, brand new homes that are to be built, which is a little bit different than maybe you would find in your city. Also, they have great schools, restaurants. Ballantyne also has a very diverse population of people. Believe it or not, there's a lot of Northerners in Ballantyne. So Ballantyne, believe it or not, is an area where a lot of New Yorkers live. I find that a lot of New Yorkers live like in the university area, Ballantyne, and Uptown. I'm not telling you where to live, but it's weird. Like, it just happens to be the place that people go. When I came here from Boston, I ended up also in the university area. That's where I bought my home. So there's just a difference in like just the way that it is. It's a little bit of like a suburb feel, but at the same time, everything is kind of like close enough to just drive to. We have a whole bunch of stores. We have several hospitals, restaurants, several housing subdivisions also. Subdivisions is something I'll talk about a little bit later in a different video because I really do need to break that down because it's a little bit different here in Charlotte based off of like the traditional neighborhoods that you might have experienced in New York or in a northern city. So anyways, the university area also has like a boardwalk, which is really nice. You can walk around. There's restaurants in there. There's like little shops in there. There's a wine store. There's like a nail salon. And it's just like a great place to chill and like hang out and have like a glass of wine or spend some time with friends, family. You can even bring your pets. It's a great area. I love the university area, of course, because that's where I live. So those are like some of the neighborhoods. Like I said, I can really go more in depth, but call me if you're trying to figure out what neighborhood best suits your needs. Call me if you're trying to figure out, or text me if you're trying to figure out, or email me if you're trying to figure out which neighborhood best suits your needs, and I can better direct you and give you more information on that. So another thing I wanted to talk about, of course, and most importantly, is money and the differences between the housing in New York and the housing here in Charlotte. So, of course, you guys know New York is so much more expensive than Charlotte. In New York, you can get a one-bedroom for allegedly $2,500 and up in a decent area. I wanted to talk about the housing here in Charlotte. So of course, in Charlotte, you can get so much more house for your money. So, of course, in New York, you can get a $2,500 one bedroom in an area versus here in Charlotte, you can get a one bedroom uptown for $2,000. And when I say uptown for $2,000, I'm talking about prime city skyline views that people would pay $1 million for if they purchased a home here, if there were homes to purchase in uptown for $1 million with skyline views. There are some surrounding neighborhoods that of course you can buy $1 million home and get those same views for, but the point is for $1,000 to $2,000, because let's say you're going to get like a studio, you can get like a studio uptown with great views for $1,500, $1,800. Same thing with a bedroom, you can get a one bedroom for $1,800 and up. So it's pretty impressive what you get for an uptown or downtown area, like equivalent to what you would get in Manhattan, which would be impossible to get a skyline view of anything for $2,000 or less. Also, our homes are different than, of course, than the homes in New York as far as pricing. So the median income, of course, is a lot higher, but the homes are a lot higher in New York, and the taxes are a lot higher in New York. So your homes are going to range from $750 and up. Our homes actually start for a median price of $350 to $400,000, which is a huge difference. Huge difference. Our taxes are lower, and our household incomes can actually go a lot longer and further as far as affordability. So the amount of house you get is going to be a lot bigger than New York, like as far as square footage and the lot that your home is built on, as well as the price that you're paying for the home, which of course then equals the mortgage you're paying for the home and the taxes you're paying for the home. So of course what I'm saying is the homes here in Charlotte are going to be a lot more affordable, but you're not going to get less than you would get in New York. You're actually going to get more. So that is one of the reasons why a lot of New Yorkers also come to this wonderful, wonderful city of Charlotte. So that's another fact that I wanted you guys to know, is what you get for the price is going to be a lot higher in New York versus what you get for the price here in Charlotte, which is you get a lot more for a lot less. Another reason why a lot of people move to Charlotte is for the simple things. And when I say the simple things, affordability, but of course, more specifically, one of the examples would be our gas prices. Our gas prices are cheaper. So one of the reasons why a lot of people move here is for affordability. More specifically, I can say transportation. Our gas prices are way cheaper. Right now, currently, today is the 12th of March today. And believe it or not, it's 80 degrees outside, and the gas prices right now for regular is $2.65. That's pretty phenomenal. The weather's great, and the gas prices are even better. Our toll roads that we have are like $1, and you can take the toll road and they'll just send you a bill in the mail, or you just get like a little transponder put on like you do, you know, back home up north, like we call it, like an easy pass, and you can just go for less than the toll road price that they would go ahead and charge you. We don't have attendants, we don't have ticket agents, we don't have any of that, and it really helps with the traffic because we don't have traffic like you do in New York. So the gas prices are going to be a lot better because you're not traveling as far. You're not sitting in traffic for as long. You're not going to pay as much on the roads because we don't have tolls like you guys have. Those toll roads are only for people that want to use it as an express lane, to be honest. So we have so many different highways that help you get to the same place. So it really does help. Like, I think the logistics here in Charlotte is phenomenal in comparison to an older city like New York. So that's another reason. And of course, the weather. The weather today is amazing. 80 degrees, 1 mile per hour on wind. I'm not a meteorologist, but I'm just saying. The weather for the beginning of March is phenomenal. And so that's why for me, it was a great city to come and move to because the weather is so much better than back home. New York, you guys have snow. We get like a light dusting of snow. And it's pretty cool because they shut everything down. So you get to stay home, work from home, and enjoy just watching the snowfall. Does it stick? Does it stay? Does it get up to a foot? Not commonly, but like I said, the weather here is phenomenal. You're going to get warmer winters, warmer summers, warmer everything. So Definitely another reason why a lot of people are coming here to Charlotte, North Carolina from New York. So, another reason why a lot of people move to Charlotte, of course, is because of the job market. Job market here in Charlotte consists of tech, of course, banking, which we're number two, healthcare system, and a lot of corporate companies, so corporate jobs. With that being said, it does actually make it a great place to move from, considering New York is known for, of course, business, Wall Street, finance, fashion, university jobs, so education jobs here as well. And believe it or not, six-figure incomes in Charlotte are very common. They're a lot more common than certain cities. I'll explain. Currently, 36.7% of households here in Charlotte make above $100,000 a year, which is pretty impressive. The reason why it's pretty impressive is, honestly, it goes a long way here in Charlotte. $100,000 can go a long way depending on your own lifestyle choices. But for some, that's actually pretty good.